So this is going to be kind of a half unboxing and review of the Fluval E300, which is the E series, which stands for electronic, and it's Fluval's electronic heater. They have their, I forget what the other series called. I've used a bunch of them. Their mirror design ones. That's one of the heaters I've used for years. And every tank, if I had to put a heater in a tank, it would always be that one. I don't know if they call it the S or the M series. No, yeah, it's the M series because for mirror. But I've always loved those just because of the look of them. Again, if you had to put them in a tank, they just look good. And this one's not really for display purposes, so I'm able to review this one. And I've actually never had it before, but I know it's an amazing heater. It's actually, if not the best heater you can get. And there's many reasons for that, but for myself, I would never put this in a display tank just because how big and bulky and it is. But if you're using it for like a sump, or you're heating a container, if you're doing, like a reef tank and you have holding containers for salt or RO water or whatever, this would be perfect because it does have the guard on it, which is mainly built for fish. But if your heater were to ever do anything, it would have to melt this off first before it would ever do no damage. So that makes it nice. It is expensive, but kind of expected. I mean, for something that's really good, it's gonna be high priced. It's kind of how it works. But I'll show you guys what I'm going to use this for. But other than that, I mean, there's not really much I can say. I mean, there's tons of videos on YouTube on this, so I know if you're watching this, you probably have already looked this up a bunch. But a quick thing, it has a digital screen, so it tells you the temperature. This right here, it's just kind of like a little click, and you can increase the temperature by 0.5, so it would be like 77.5, 78, 78 and a half, 79, etc. And another nice thing, this is fully submersible, and so that'll make it nice for my purpose. That'll be really nice. And I'm actually going to be laying it down in a container like this all the way at the bottom, so I'll still be able to like see the screen. Hopefully we'll test it out. And I think that's about, yeah, the alert system, if the blue, green, red if it's over temperature that you set it at. The green is it's right at temperature, and then blue if it's colder than what the temperature is. I imagine mine's gonna be at blue when we first plug it in. We already talked about that. Talked about that. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. And then yeah, like I said, fresh or salt. Salt water, you might get gunked up faster, especially if you're having reef and stuff. You get corrosion on it a lot, but other than that, it should be fine. I mean, especially having the guard on there, that just helps a lot, even with that type of stuff. But freshwater use, you should be fine. I mean, especially if it's in a container, you'll never hurt it. But if it's in a display tank, it might get gunked up, so you might have to remove the guard and clean that out if you needed to. But it looks like they got 4 types. I didn't even know they had a 50 type that small. I thought they just went up from hundreds. That's cool. So yeah, you guys can pause if you want to read any of this stuff. Looks like it's mostly in Spanish though. But yeah, from what I heard, this heater is really accurate. So I'll definitely do a review later on. But I don't think I need to, honestly. I already know it's gonna be great. But I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna show you guys me putting this in, where it's gonna go, and we'll talk about it a little more. Okay, so this is my mixing tank. Well, not really mixing. It's just basically a holding tank for water changes. I'm not really mixing anything. It's not RO water. I could eventually do RO water, and I do want to, but right now it's just not in the price range. I just have a lot of money, so much money in this tank right now that tap water's fine, but I do eventually want to do RO if possible. My tanks are gonna be so big at some point that I don't know if RO is just not gonna probably make enough, but we'll just see what happens. But I would like to do RO eventually. But it's kind of crowded here right now, but this is eventually. I want to do a fish, basically a little fish station here, just where I can have all my equipment and get to everything easier. But right now it's kind of cluttered. But this is my holding tank right here. You can see brute trash can, great for purposes like this. Water safe. You won't ever get stuff liquid. The plastic won't leach into the water and all that. But basically, you see my pump down there. This is my water change. Basically, I just plug in the pump and this will pump through my hose. That hose isn't permanent. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, cause I just got it because it fit my equipment, and it was just, they sold it in 10-foot rolls, so it was nice and easy. But I might eventually actually try to do like an actual hose or something where it rolls up better, and it's not so like it just wants to curl up on you, and so it's kind of hard to pull. But so the heater's gonna go all the way down the bottom, basically right beside that pump. I might actually move that pump way more over here because there's no point having the middle. I really want the heater in the middle. I don't want those two to be close really. So I'm gonna place that in there, and then I'll show you guys me plugging it in. So I got it in there. I moved the pump over here so it's out of the way. So I basically put that directly in the middle. Mainly why I put it on the bottom, because obviously the more down you go, the more cold it's gonna get. So hoping that can warm up the bottom, and then if I need to, I'll buy a circulation pump, and we'll just have something constantly just kind of mixing around the water, so it all heats evenly. But we'll just see how it does. But yeah, good thing that fit. I was afraid it's gonna be. I had to kind of center it up a little bit, but it's plenty long enough where it kind of stretches that bottom good enough, and also stays away from it too. So I don't know what the preset temperature is. I already know this water's pretty cold, so I already know it's gonna freak out on me. But what's nice is I have the main water here in this closet. So basically the reason I even have this is because I get water directly from the main, and this thing will fill up in like 2 minutes. And so that's why I did that, and then so I already have the water ready, and then that pump will just pump it in like so quick, so it makes it real nice. And I'll eventually do a whole setup review on this whole area once I get it a little better. So I'm gonna plug this in. So let's see, it was on blue. Yeah, let's see. So it looks like it's at 67 degrees, which is not bad. Let's see, I have to get my hand in there again. It's gonna suck without getting the phone wet. Let's see here. Okay. So I just set it at, I don't know if you guys even saw that or not, but I clicked it, and it is now at 78 degrees. I just preset that. I might do a little bit warmer, but I'll just set it at that for now. And honestly, the smarter thing would probably to do is go a couple degrees at a time, especially for water this cold. It just kind of freaks the heater out, especially putting that much, when the heater goes on for that long like that, when it has to go up like 10-15 degrees. But I'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. But it's at 67 right now. Everything looks to be fine. I mean, the screen's working. But so yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Follow me on Instagram, JJ Aquariums, for all behind the scenes basically. But other than that, if you have questions on the heater or anything like that, definitely hit me up. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.